According to CNN, dozens of documents naming Jeffrey Epstein's victims are going, and his associates are going to be made public in 2024. Hey, first of all, why not right now?
Yeah.
Why in 2024? Right now? Why not right now?
Will it be more special in 2024?
Right.
I'd like to know now.
And so a federal judge in New York has ordered the names of dozens of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged victims and associates to be made public in 2024.
Jeffrey's associates.
Yes, Jeffrey's yeah.
So I get that part.
I get Jeffrey's associates, but the victims?
Yeah. Seems strange. It's very strange.
Shouldn't it be his? I get if someone's accusing someone, you make their names public, but I don't think all his victims are are coming public.
The guys, yeah.
So if someone is accusing someone, yes, I think you should make the accuser's name public, but not just every victim. That seems weird.
It's weird how much they covered up the names of the accusers of Russell Brand, a thing that went nowhere.
Yes.
And this
his
is
accusers, not his victims.
Yeah, no,
his accusers.
Oh, we have to protect them, but
the actual victims here.
Yeah, I put them out.
That seems weird. The order issued Monday by Judge Loretta A. Preska is the latest filing in a settled case by Virginia Roberts Guthrie, an American woman who claimed Epstein sexually abused her while she was a minor, and that Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former girlfriend and longtime accomplice, aided in that abuse. Epstein was indicted in 2019 on federal charges of operating a sex trafficking ring in which he allegedly sexually abused dozens of underage girls. I don't think it's alleged anymore. I think he was convicted.
He was convicted on having sex with minors. Hookers.
Okay. Oh, okay.
He was about to be, go.
Oh, and they killed him.
And then,
yeah.
He might have killed himself because it was the best option.
CNN says CNN says the multimillionaire died by suicide.
Sometimes agents will kill themselves because the best way out. And I have that clip of him going, people go crazy and they take their lives. I'm saying clearly he worked with them. If he didn't commit suicide, they definitely would kill him. But it is possible he did as part of, hey, kill yourself. It's the best way out. That is possible.
He did not kill himself, Kurt. Kurt, I've got news for you. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
Well, I didn't think that until I saw him saying that thing.
He did not kill himself.
I don't think it wasn't.
If he killed himself, there wouldn't be all the shenanigans around what happened in the prison. First of all, there'd be video of it.
The prison's not supposed to. Okay,
all that stuff, all that stuff that happened around him,
right.
Allegedly killing himself, was all garbage bullshit. The place would have been locked down. They didn't do the right searches. They didn't do the right things. They didn't do anything correctly.
Just hear what I'm saying. Do you remember the guy in Nuremberg, the fat one of Hitler's party, who was awaiting execution, and he ended up? They snuck it.
No, I don't know anything about this.
Okay, well, Goring famously, he was supposed to be brought to justice. He got convicted, and then somehow he got his hands on a cyanide pill because he'd befriended a guard, and he took his own life because somebody slipped him a thing. That's what I'm referring to. I'm not saying, I don't think I'll make it.
Yeah, but do you know the story that surrounds this? That the guards were both fell asleep. They were both replaced. Yeah. They were supposed to go do the head count. They didn't do it twice. The prison's supposed to be locked down if you do a head count, and it's not right.
No,
and it didn't happen. So none of that stuff happened. So that's how I know he didn't kill himself.
Oh,
so anyway, back to this.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I don't think I do. So the multimillionaire died. My whole point is that is not true, Kurt. He didn't kill himself. And if you think he killed himself, I've got a vaccine I'd like to sell you.
Did you ever see The Godfather where they let the guy go home and cut his wrist?
Yeah. I'm saying, and if he did do that,
they have to turn the cameras off.
Why would they? Why?
You think the guards, they're going to let them?
Why would they have to turn the cameras? They just say that the guards fell asleep.
Because they have to stop. They have to stop you.
No, they would just say the guards fell asleep who were supposed to be watching the cameras.
Would you think they want to go? All right. Well,
so that's why it doesn't make any sense that he would kill himself, and then they would have to do all that other shady shit. If he did kill himself, they would just say the guards fell asleep. We were watching the camera. I fell asleep.
Didn't the guards say they fell asleep?
So yes.
Yeah.
But why? That there would be a video of it. Why would you also turn off the camera?
So you're missing.
You're missing a logical step here.
Oh, I think it's likely he was murdered, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Prosecutors in New York indicted Maxwell on sex trafficking charges involving multiple victims. She was convicted in 2021. In August 2019, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit unsealed hundreds of pages of documents a day before Epstein died in prison, ruling that the district court judge had improperly sealed hundreds of filings. The judge had since died. Really? Well, I hope it was a suicide. That's how this works, right? You can't fix a mistake until the judge who makes it dies. Am I right?
I don't get that either. We wait for the judge to die, then we can look at it.
The appeals court then remanded the case back to the district court to go through the rest of the documents individually and determine what could be unsealed. Judge Preska, who has since taken over the case, ruled for the unsealing of more documents in July 2020, including Maxwell's 2016 deposition related to the lawsuit, as well as emails and depositions by others. So why do they need to sort through anything? Why can't they just unseal it all? I'm kidding. I know it's to protect the intelligence agencies.
He's owned by intelligence, is what the guy said.
That's right.
The guy that Trump appointed this guy. He goes, I was told that he belongs to intelligence.
Yeah.
Then he wouldn't say it ever again.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the alleged victims gave public interviews and have already been identified by the media, while others did not raise an objection to the unsealing of documents, according to press. So according to them, the victims are cool with this. As for the Epstein associates, it's unclear how many have been investigated for alleged wrongdoings or will be. I'm going to guess none of them. The order says Epstein's associates, one of whom played a role in his sex trafficking crimes and another whose name came up in a criminal trial, will also have their documents unsealed in full. Some of the documents to be, but again, none of the clients.
And none
so
of
these
what
are just
people.
So these are just people who also enabled the trafficking, but none of the clients. Who were the client? That's what we want.
That's what associates means?
That's what they mean by associates. People like Ghislaine Maxwell and other people who helped him do this, not the client list. This is
I
not
thought it meant like...
This is not the client list.
I thought it meant like your Prince Andrews and such.
That's
an associate.
No.
Wow. So it's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's probably something that hurts people. Wow.
Some of the documents to be released include information of those who have died, including one person who died in 2018, but was widely associated with Epstein and featured in photos at Epstein's Island residence in Little St. James. They also include people associated with Maxwell. So these are not the clients. These are people who were doing the trafficking. After Epstein's death, the U.S. Attorney Office in Manhattan indicated it would focus on the conspiracy charge against Epstein, which accused him of working with employees and associates to operate a vast sex trafficking ring involving dozens of girls. Epstein pleaded guilty to 2 Florida prostitution charges in 2008 and served 13 months in prison. The conspiracy, that's less time than the January 6 people got. The conspiracy count could allow prosecutors to charge anyone else involved in the scheme. So not the clients.
So why were they even hiding this in the first place, since it's not even the rich clients? It's just some scumbag. You're even protecting...
Yes, the other scumbags. So watch this. This is from 2019. Yeah, right. Amy Robach exposed how ABC News refused to publish her explosive Jeffrey Epstein expose implicating Prince Andrew and who? Bill Clinton. Watch this.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
There's your corporate news, ladies and gentlemen.
Didn't whoever leaked this get blacklisted or something?
So the person
they didn't verify it either.
So this is her talking off camera in between a commercial break, and then apparently the cameras are always running in a TV station, and so someone got that, and then someone leaked it. I think it was someone from CBS or something.
And they fired some girl,
and
said
someone
she did
got
it.
fired,
or they blacklisted her.
Yeah,
I mean, and if I was Amy Robach, I wouldn't be embarrassed. This came out. You know, I might be. But
this kills her career, right? I mean, where does she work now?
I was just looking up.
Where does she work now?
Well, she just got fired for having an affair with someone she worked with very recently.
Okay.
That's what.
So they sent a super handsome guy to seduce her. Hey, Tim Burkett says that the Congress is blocking the release of Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs because too many of my colleagues are compromised and are being blackmailed. Watch this.
And too many of my colleagues, I'm afraid, are compromised in this area for whatever reason. Somebody's whispered in their ear, said, hey, you don't want something to come out on something else, you better keep your mouth shut on this.
Not
that's
about
exactly
being on
what
the flight
they've done.
logs.
And it continues to go, whether it's the honeypot that the Russians used to use or something worse. I don't know. But
so what he's saying is can you turn off the AC? They're threatening people who were on to investigate this and people in government or in power. And they said, hey, you better not, because we've got dirt on you. This is the old J. Edgar Hoover technique.
I'm starting to think I might know the reason why Israel's the third rail of politics.
And too many of my colleagues, I'm afraid, are compromised in this area for whatever reason. Somebody's whispered in their ear, said, hey, you don't want something to come out on something else, you better keep your mouth shut on this. And that's exactly what they've done. And it continues to go, whether it's the honeypot that the Russians used to use or something worse. I don't know, but it's clearly, you see that up and down the line. You see good conservatives vote for liberal policies.
And why? Because they got something on them. So Tim Burchett says Congress is blocking the release of Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs because too many of my colleagues
Tim Burchett, you know who that is?
No, who is Tim Burchett?
The guy who was trying to get the UFO stuff out that they're also blocking.
Oh, really?
I think I like this guy because every time I see him, he's trying to get some kind of thing out, and he's like, my colleagues are strangely blocking this. But apparently both this and whatever the UFO stuff is, that's also being mysteriously blocked. And I mean, since there's nothing there, I don't get why they can't release it. Same with Epstein, obviously. He's
an American politician who was, this goddamn, they keep wanting me to, he's an American politician who is the U.S. representative for Tennessee's 2nd Congressional District based in Knoxville, serving since 2019. So that guy, wow. Yeah. So that guy's going to be Epstein. You don't think he's going to, I mean,
he's like, when I watch him talk and I think that same thing, I go, boy, this guy is like, because he's talking about spaceman stuff. And I'm like, they're not going to come and screw with him. And he's describing about how they try to bullshit you with top secret stuff. They take you in these skiff rooms.
Uh-huh.
And he was explaining how the whole thing works. It was very interesting. He didn't seem like he was afraid to do shit about it. But, that's just alien life. This is Epstein. You could die for that.
Wow. Okay. So no, they're not going to release the client list. They're just going to release more people who are doing the trafficking. And apparently they were trafficking underage girls to nobody. To nobody.
Nobody that you need to know about. It's not important.
So why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison?
That's what we're saying. So Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison for trafficking underage girls to nobody. To nobody. And I wouldn't be surprised if she's not in prison, right? How do we know she's in prison? Is there anything that you can actually take at face value anymore?
If she is
Jeffrey Epstein actually dead? Is Ghislaine Maxwell actually in prison? I mean, I don't know. So some people say Jeffrey Epstein's he's living on another island somewhere.
But I don't believe they take care of their people like that.
I think they kill them when they're done with them, just like we do. Like when we killed Saddam Hussein was our friend, then we killed him when we were done with them. Same thing with Muammar Gaddafi. We killed him.
Robert Maxwell. When Israel was done with him, he said, hey, pay me more. And then he had a heart attack on his boat.
That's right. So Yeah, I think that's, when you go to work for the deep state, as soon as they're done with you, they kill you. Come see us do a live stand-up show. We'll be in Venice, California, Palmdale, California, Omaha, Des Moines, Milwaukee, Lansing, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, and we're going to Europe. Do you live in Europe? We're going to be there. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.